How's it going, reefers? Just gonna show a quick update of my 100-gallon reef tank here. Just did a little bit of work here, and mostly SPS, but I have some LPS inside of here. And it's been quite an adventure. I feel like it's a up and down every day. But so here's what I got going on as far as sump goes. I have this CAD light skimmer, pretty decent sized one, big enough for what I have. Lots of Apex stuff. I have the PM2s. I have 2 energy bars, you know, the leak detection system. As you come in here, this is my little refugium. I would like to add my UV as soon as it gets here. It's going to go in right here. And I made this little thing to kind of lower down the evaporation, just a little lid. GFO and carbon reactors. They run in line. This is all the dosing and all of my probes for the Apex, as well as the Smart ATO, which comes from this little box back here behind these test kits. That's my reservoir. The rest of my Apex gear, another energy bar, 2 ballasts for the radions, the Jabal DC recurrent pump, and 2 heaters. 1 on either side of the sump, kind of keep it equal. So my temperature varies on average 1 degree per day, which is not too bad. Those are my Vortec MP40s, and the whole thing runs the Apex right here from this Apple Airport Express. So rather than running one of those long wires, I decided to put that in so I can control this tank from my phone or computer, and if, you know, anywhere I'm at. I use this little bevel kit here to bevel in my Apex controller through the front of the tank, and I used a Bubble Magus dosing pump, and I dose calcium, alkalinity, and magnesium, and I do the rest of my trace stuff by hand. 1 filter sock back there, so I mean, if I were to redo this, I would probably do it with 2, but you know, whatever. I run these BioBrick media, and as well as a bag of carbon in there just for fun. Anyways, so here's my reef. You know, I've had ups and downs with this tank. For some reason, this Monty has never really done all that great. It's kind of had this little, I think it's diatoms on there. It's a small amount, but I try to keep the sand bed as clean as possible to avoid any buildups of anaerobic bacteria and other problems. I've had fairly decent success, actually, with this blueberry gorgonian, which I've had trouble with in the past keeping, but this one so far is so good. Also the red planet, of course, this is one of my favorite little sticks in the whole tank, believe it or not. I mean, really a good grower. I try with some of these maricultures. Sometimes it hits, sometimes it doesn't. This one, we'll see. The tips are not looking good, but I'm hoping that maybe it might get used to these LEDs here. A lot of stylos. And, you know, basic little zoanthids here and there. Acanthophylias. Really like those corals. Anyways, so here's my 100-gallon reef. I also have these Gen 3 Radeon Pros, and I had them mounted here by LaRusso Design. Aircraft aluminum anodized, and it goes into these little bars. Makes it pretty simple. We have two MP40s running on the tank, so that's where the majority of my flow comes from, as well as just these two little widgets off the return pump. Goes into this center overflow, which I have tried to get some stuff to start growing on that overflow. I always like an overflow when it's covered with stuff growing. Let's see what else. Oh, I run an Apex Auto feeder. Pretty nice little device, and automatically feeds everything. There's coral food in there as well, so couldn't really live without my Apex. I love the Apex. It's really making this this reef possible for me. Makes it a lot easier, especially with my busy schedule, and as much as I work, it'd be really hard for me to take care of this otherwise without that Apex. So there you have the update of my 100-gallon Starfire Reef. It's got a 26-gallon sump, and it's January 18th, 2014. Can't wait to see what this thing looks like in a year.